Hello children, in the previous lecture I discussed Galileo's observations and Newton's first law of motion. I also told you that first law of motion has two parts. Its first part defines the inability of a body to change its present state. That is called inertia. Hence the first law of motion is also called law of inertia. And the second part of this law defines a physical cause, that is called force. So today in this lecture I will discuss about inertia and force. So this is inertia. As I discussed in the previous lecture also, inertia means inability of a body to change its present state of rest on itself. You know, if there is a body placed at a point, that will not change its position itself. Suppose you have a table kept in your drawing room, you have sofas kept in your drawing room. Can they change their position themselves? Your answer will be no. Why? Because they are inert. They are not active. So the property of a body to remain inert is called inertia. Is it clear? Now you can note down the definition of inertia, that every body is unable to change its present state of rest or of uniform motion. This property of the body is called inertia. It can also be defined in another way, that inertia is the property of a body due to which it is unable to change its present state of rest or of uniform motion. Okay? So I think you understand inertia. Now inertia can be of three types. First is inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. First type. Let us take some example. Whenever you are inside a bus and bus is at rest, you will lean backward on sudden start of the bus. This is due to inertia of rest. Because due to inertia of rest, your body wants to be at rest, but as soon as bus starts, lower part of your body, which is in contact with the bus, direct contact in the bus, moves forward and your upper part leans backward. This is the inertia of rest. Whenever you throw a stone to a mango fruit on the mango tree, what happens? Mango fruit falls down. What is the reason? That mango fruits set into motion with the stone, but the tree, the point of contact of the mango fruit with the branch of the tree remains at rest due to inertia of rest. So the mango fruits get detached from the tree. Whenever you dust a towel, what happens? You put a jerk on the towel sets into motion and the dust particles fall down. When you beat a carpet with a stick, carpet sets into motion and the dust particles fall down. So all these are the examples of inertia of rest. Okay? So inertia of rest can be defined as the inability of a body at rest to change its present position on itself. Okay? So this is inertia of rest. After then, inertia of motion. Second is Inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. You see, first law of motion defines both the states, state of rest and state of motion. So inertia of motion is the inability of a body in uniform motion to change its present state of uniform motion. Let us take an example that you are on the running track. You are participating in a race. What you do whenever you reach at the finishing point? Even after winning the race, you do continue your motion. What will happen if you will stop there? You will fall down. Means whenever you will stop at a sudden, your leg, your lower part of the body will come to the rest, and your head, upper part of the body will want to continue to be in motion due to inertia of motion, and you will fall down. It is suggested that if you jump out from a moving train at the platform, from a moving bus near the bus stop, you might have seen so many people that whenever train comes to the platform, he just jumps out the train. He just jumps out the train. And you might have observed that the person who jumps out of the train runs for few steps. This is also due to inertia of motion. Whenever you are inside a bus is in motion, and driver takes a break at a sudden, what happens? You lean forward. The reason is that inertia of motion. So all these are related to inertia of motion. Now third is inertia of direction. Third type is inertia of direction. Although inertia of direction is also related to inertia of motion. Inertia of direction is also related to inertia of direction. So in some books, you may have only two types of inertia. One is inertia of rest and other is inertia of motion. But in some books, you may see inertia of direction also. This is the inertia of direction, that whenever your car takes a sharp turn, a sudden turn, you feel a force which pulls you towards the door of the car, towards the gate of the car. And if the gate of the car will be opened suddenly, you will come out of the car. This is inertia of direction. So inertia of direction can be defined as the inability of a body to change its direction of motion on itself. Got it? You can have seen mudguard with the wheels of bicycle, with the wheels of motorcycle, bike. Have you ever thought that what is the function? Have you ever thought what is the function of that mudguard? If that mudguard will not be there, the mud will just move tangentially due to inertia of direction along the wheel, and that will be on the person behind the bike, behind the bicycle. So this is the inertia of direction. So first law of motion defines this inertia. Hence this is also called law of inertia. First law of motion is also called law of inertia. Second part defines motion. You just recall the second part of first law of motion. until an external force is applied on a body. Means the inertial behavior will be followed, the inertial behavior will be continued in the absence of the force. It is the force which can make a body active, which can change the inertial behavior of a body. Means if a body is at rest and you will apply the force, the body can set into motion. Means the body will lose its inertial behavior. If a body is in motion and you apply force on the body in the direction opposite to the motion, the body can get stopped. These are the functions of forces. I discussed all these whenever I was discussing about the effects of forces. So force can be defined as a physical cause which can either change the state of a body being acted upon or try to change the state of the body. This is the qualitative definition of force, which can be discussed on the basis of first law of motion. Now, in the second law of motion, I will discuss quantitative definition of force. And in the third law of motion, I will discuss about the nature of the force. So for the next lecture, you should wait to have the quantitative definition of force, measurement of force. Thank you.